We have Mr. Neelakandan on our call today. Mr. Neelakandan has been in active politics for the last 40 years and with the Left Party for the last 30 years, which he left in 2006 following corruption charges against the Kerala CM, Mr. Pinarayi Vijayan. Since then, he has been a strong AAP supporter and helping us grow in Kerala. Unlike other leaders, Mr. Neelakandan is all about fighting elections. He believes that the more we fight, the better experience we have, and we will grow. We should not shy away from elections. He's been a keen environmental activist since 1980 and has worked with Medha Patkar and others. He has written several books on activism and corruption. He's a strong vocal voice against corruption in Kerala. That's where he sees common grounds with AAP, and he has given up on the left, claiming that left is the same as other parties as far as Kerala is concerned. So let's get on with the call and get him to share his experience with AAP and how he can help AAP grow in Kerala, and which we can use it for other South Indian states as well. Welcome to the call, Mr. Neelakandan.
Great, my friends in US. I'm very, very happy to talk to you, among you, and it's a great time. It's a time when India and Kerala needs up. Even though we are not very, very good in elections recently, and you don't worry about that, because the real politics of India and Kerala. Plus, I am more familiar with Kerala, so I will be talking more on Kerala, because I hope some of your friends are familiar with Kerala. Kerala is like any other state, is different from other even South Indian states. So it is much advanced in social services like health and education, and it is I think it is very beautiful place. Environmentally, it's God's own country. And Kerala has a history of Renaissance. Great movements like Srinarayana movement against caste and Ayyankali movement against the oppression of the lower caste, especially scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. So based on that, we had a very strong left movement, and compared to many other states, we had the first revolutionary Communist Party ministry in 1957, which may be the first elected ministry through votes rather than bullets. Generally, communist parties are coming to power through bullets till that time. Now they changed it to ballots. And so Kerala has a revolutionary history in politics and social reformation and even social service that way. But of late, maybe after 1990s or 2000, the left and right in Kerala almost the birds of same feather, because you cannot see any vicious change, even though there is a change in the government, in corruption, and left to us a champion of social, social support, especially in education and health at one point of time. But now left also came to the right position, not the right, I'm saying the rightist position. And they are also part of all the trade. All the trade means it's the illegal trade, corruption, and they are withdrawing from, the state is withdrawing from the social support, especially health and education. It is highly privatized. That is one way. Second way, all the natural properties of Kerala is getting extracted. Correctly told, I said as a and an environmentalist, then I found a lot of contradiction in me, because one side I am on left side on politics, but the environmental destruction is when I see the environmental destruction, I see two things. And there is a huge corruption in natural resources and public money. So practically, whatever advantage Kerala had earlier, now it is losing. We think AAP in Kerala has to focus on this point and bring back because we have a heritage from Delhi, even though it is only 2-3 years back, 3 years heritage. We have shown the world that not calling left or right, we can give the best social welfare measures within the limitations of a state, which is, you can call me half state. Delhi is only half state with a very minimal power. But Delhi has shown the world that education and health we can give. And
Mr. Neelakandan, Mr. Neelakandan, can I stop you for a second here? Because our model is based on health and education, which Kerala already is successful in. How would it be easy to convince the public still to vote on those issues? Because Kerala already has high literacy rate and there are not much issues with health either.
No, Kerala has, I told you, Kerala has a history of welfare measures. But now Kerala is much behind in education. It is highly privatized. And health, it is highly privatized. Because if you want health care, you cannot get it free. It was totally free at one point of time. I am an engineer. I have studied all my career. I have engineering free, totally free of cost. Now, my daughter cannot study like that. She has to spend a huge amount, not because she's my daughter, any daughter or son. They have to pay through their noses to get admission, to study, and even for health care. Once upon a time, healthcare was very free. But now, healthcare is very costly in Kerala. That is one thing. So we want to bring back. And third thing, the drinking water, that is the best thing, even though it is heavily raining outside. It's a rainy season, monsoon season in Kerala. There is a shortage of drinking water everywhere. Why it happens? People are asking. Because we have destroyed the natural boundaries. So all the rivers are polluted. And food, even air is highly polluted. Not because of industrialization, but because of mismanagement. So, if there is a proper governance, we can easily show the people of Kerala. It is because of the wrong governance of left. We lost all things. Only a party like us can bring it back, as we had done even in Delhi, where we don't have much power when compared to Kerala state government. This was our argument, and is going. People are getting it. People are listening to our arguments to that extent, because now there is a heavy expenses on health care. Every person in Kerala, there is a cancer patient, or kidney patient, or a diabetes patient. So all these three patients have to spend money till that point. That is the thing. Because even treating, or maybe after treatment, post-treatment, so they are becoming almost at what you call debt ridden. Very heavy debts in many families are due to health and education. And even the nurses, the nurses in Kerala, they are on the struggle path. They are not getting good salary. Even though people say Kerala is a left country, there is a good salary, there is a trade union, but there are many sections of the people who are not getting proper salary. There is no organization. The left organizations are not much interested in that because they are the hospital management and things like that. So what
okay,
Mr.
Sorry to butt in, Mr. Neelakandan. The thing is, during the bypolls also, left party kept saying that, vote for us or BJP will win. How do you break that mindset? Because we know we have a good model. We know we can fill in the gaps what left has left behind. So we can do all that. But how do we convince the people to vote for us?
No, that is a big question before us. Because Kerala, BJP is not very strong. Kerala BJP is not very strong. They have only one seat in the Legislative Assembly of 140. But still, left is showing BJP as a great power. They are coming. They are utilizing the all India scenario. Because, but one point, left cannot beat BJP in that theory, because even theoretically, because left is following the same path of violence, they are following the same path of development, they are following the same path of corruption. So left can never be an alternative, not even in Kerala, not even in Kerala, because they are following the same path. People are fed up with the violence. Okay, in one election you may have a that is right, because AAP is not powerful. Many of friends told you are not going to win. But if we have a threshold that we can break, I'm sure it will shift to Aam Aadmi, because now they don't think we can win. In the last election, by election they were telling, many supporters telling, you cannot win because you are not crossed the threshold. You know the BJP for 48 years, around 48 years, BJP was BJP was struggling in Kerala to get one seat. Even with all their might, their power at the center, in many states, they have very good, strong RSS cadre. Still, they could not be in Kerala, the political polarized Kerala, left and right. Now, we can enter that. We also try. We enter in a different way, but as BJP has shown, one way. That is, it is not difficult to. It is difficult, but it is not impossible to break the vote bank. Now, even the Congress, in last 3 days, what we are saying is Congress is going to be in doldrums because of something sharing or Rajya Sabha seat and things like that. So those people are secular. So they want somewhere to come. They cannot go to BJP. They cannot go to CPM. So we are trying to get their mind. So there are many occasions where Aam Aadmi can break that threshold. Once we break it, I'm sure we will be a very, very big force in Kerala. But it is a matter of time.
Okay. We will open the floor for questions now. Josh, do you want to go ahead?
Yeah.
I think you wanted to know something, yeah.
Okay, so sir, my name is Sajan and I'm from Palakkad. I think we haven't interacted before.
Great, sir.
But I'm very close to Padmanabhan, from Palakkad, right?
Oh, great.
And,
it's a great
yeah. So, sir, the recently concluded bypoll, right? It seems it was, from our perspective itself, it was a disaster, I think, because I think we got only around like 300 votes.
Yeah. 368.
Yeah.
That's 368.
Because I thought actually, when I was talking to a few of my friends, I thought we were at least going to get like 3,000 votes, 3,000 plus. What was that perception, the difference between, what was the calculation and what turned out to be? What do you think, sir?
Yeah, that is what I'm saying. We were expecting there are people very closely watching, even the media people, they were expecting 3 to 10,000. They were working on that. But what happened is, in the final days, there are two reasons for it. In the final days, the CPM had played a very good communal card, saying that if you are voting to be up, BJP will win. Because so AAP is not going to win, for sure. So
right.
BJP will win. So especially in the minorities and people who are supporting AAP, they are strongly secular, no? Generally, we are all secular. So we don't want BJP to win. So many of my friends have told me, even Padmanabhan's friend. Padmanabhan has very good friends there. So,
right.
So but even they told Padmanabhan, as a friend, we cannot vote for you this time because we don't want BJP to win. So you know the perception. When you go for voting, your first priority will be different. They were ready to vote for AAP if AAP is going to win. That is what that threshold is actually. It's a barrier for us.
Okay, Mr. Neelakandan, I wanted to know, since you are a regular visitor to media channels and all, and you're regularly
Yeah.
seen on Kerala media. I wanted to know what is the media projection of AAP? Because media elsewhere in the country is totally against AAP, especially in Delhi and all. How is it in Kerala?
That is, I can tell you it's a trick. I am a very regular contributor to the media, even before AAP. As an activist, as an environmentalist, as a political commentator, I was common on media. So when I took the set of apps, they were not ready to show me as apps because in Kerala, three major friends, Congress, citizen, and BJP. All the three were represented in the media, and some independent commentators they want. So generally, they accepted me as an independent commentator on issues, on political issues, environmental issues, and some other human rights issues and all. So I then showing the might of Aam Aadmi something. I could tell them, I am Aam Aadmi. You have to show me as Aam Aadmi. See, there are many bigger parties in Kerala than Aam Aadmi, but they are not represented. Because I am trying my might in the media to get representation. That's all. It is not that they are all supporting Aam Aadmi, but generally I think they are not against Aam Aadmi as it is in North India, Hindi or English. That is my experience.
Jashwant, I think you wanted to know something.
I just have one question. What is the organization structure that you are trying to build, or you already built up? If it is already in place, how are you working on it?
Actually, we had a structure like state convener and state secretariat. Then we have 20 parliamentary constituencies. Each parliamentary constituency is having 7 assembly constituencies. It is divided like that. So 20 parliamentary constituencies, we have an observer. The system of the observer was there. That was we took it from Punjab and other states. There are 14 districts. It was district committees and district conveners. We replaced it with the 20 parliamentary constituency aiming the 2019 election. Because there are many overlaps between district and parliamentary. Some districts are too big, more than one parliament. Some districts are too small. 2 districts you have to join parliament. So now it is parliamentary constituency, 20 parliamentary constituency. They have got their own committees. Every legislative assembly, they have their own committees and their own observers. It is a structure now we have. Many places we don't have below LAC. Many places we have the panchayat and booth level. It is like that.
Okay, Mr. Neelakandan, yesterday when I was talking to you, also mentioned that the observer system is you have your doubts about the observer system. Can you elaborate a little more on that so we understand a little more, because every state of us has an observer system.
Yeah, because in Kerala, people are more familiar with other systems in all other parties, especially CPM, the Communist and the BJP. They are very strong cadre parties in Kerala, They have got very strong cadres and very strong organization structure. Even though sometimes it is brittle. The Congress is not that strong in organization. So people are very familiar with the more like president, secretary, like that. When we say observer, whether he is active or passive, there are questions like that. What are the observers' powers and things like that? So there are confusion. We are trying to clear it, and many people are trying to revert back to the convener and secretary for parliament or district. So that model, there is a discussion going on at all levels. Volunteers are requesting to go back to the convener secretary system than observer system. So because observer, the word itself, when you go to media, that's also a problem. When you go to media, the media doesn't take it seriously, the observer. If you say the convener, it's a difference. So made its perception, but we have to go to the people through the media, and the people's perception is very important on organization. And people think observer is a loose organization, such as convener is more strong. So this is all discussion going on. We will be finalizing mostly in 1 or 2 weeks. It's going on.
Who is the observer for Kerala, sir?
Who is our national observer is Somnath Bharati.
Oh, okay.
Somnath Bharati, MLA, ex-minister. Yeah.
You also mentioned that, while the rest of, in other states, especially in Kerala, the contestants are actually feeling a little low after the loss. You actually support, even if we lose, you feel that we should continue fighting elections. Can you share your thoughts on that?
No doubt. Because I am talking from Kerala, I don't know other states. But in Kerala, if you don't fight in election, people will never think you are active in politics. Because they will not consider at all. Now, even though you get low votes, they all know. The history of Kerala, we know. How much vote the communists got when they first contested the election. Then, within 10 years, they became the rulers of the state. It is not the votes, it is the perception. So we have to show that we are in the field. And people are more concerned about the activities you are doing for the public. How much active you are in issues, in different modes. So, obviously, I think we have to fight election. That is my perspective. Anyway, that depends on the national perspective also. My suggestion will be to conduct election wherever possible.
Okay, Mr. Neelakandan, one major issue that AAP suffers from is lack of funds. What ideas do you have to address that in Kerala?
Now, Kerala, it's like everywhere there is a lack of funds. Actually, our fundraising mechanism is, it was AAP Kerala. You can directly pay cash through an app, and it can be directly entered into the app, so that the fundraiser is entering this thing and saying to the national committee, national account, that we have collected so and so from people. So we can collect cash. It was a system. But in between, I don't know exactly what is the problem, maybe some income tax or something. National committee had stopped that system of collecting cash through app. Not directly. We collect the cash and enter it, and you will get a message from national committee. Thanks, I received. But now that AAP system is stopped. But we can collect only check and things like that. That is making the life difficult for us. Because in Kerala, the system is you go to every person to collect funds. You can meet people, ask them maybe 100 rupees, 10 rupees, 20 rupees. But if you go for a check, nobody will give you a bill for 100 rupees. You know it. So they will say, I don't have money. I don't have check. You cannot collect check for 100 rupees or 200 rupees. Minimum 500 or 1000 rupees only you can get check. So
right.
We cannot collect money from the lower level people, which was a practice of communists and Congress in Kerala.
Right. Right. So
there are
do
some
you
problems
think,
in that. Yeah.
Yeah, right. How do you address an issue like that? Because you have been in active politics
there are
for so
two
long.
ways.
How would...
It is little bit difficult. I agree that. But especially our NRI friends, they are supporting us. There are good NRI friends, especially in Middle East, and now we have started a very good team in UK. It's a very good team UK who supported us during Convener election. So I think when the transfer, people are helping, but we cannot go to the corporation and ask fund. They will for sure will not help us. So we have to expand our network of funding, which is little bit difficult. I agree.
Can you share your experience, since you have been with AAP for some time now? Can you share your experience between a left and AAP? and then the others can ask their questions.
Yeah, very good question. I like it because I worked in left for 30 years. Then I left the left. Then I joined up after 6-7 years. Very good. Because left is actually, it was a very good ideology all over the world. It is accepted because it was pro-people. But what happened of late is they have a very good, they had a very strong cadre-based system, which we can call it undemocratic because you cannot raise your voice outside. In Aam Aadmi, you can raise your voice even in WhatsApp or Facebook. Even though you have some difference of opinion with even AK or like that, I can raise it democratically. But in left, you cannot do anything. If you raise any voice, you are out. Any voice. Not only criticize, even the policy. So there is no democracy in left that way. Only it's a very close structure. Even though Soviet Union collapsed, the communist parties in India following same structure of party like Soviet party or Chinese party. So that is one point. Second is, even though they are not undemocratic, people are with them were with them mainly because they were pro-poor. Now their pro-poor image is also lost. You know what happened in West Bengal? You know what happened in Tripura? Their left stronghold. Same thing is going to happen in Kerala also because now they are pro-rich and as I told earlier, they are withdrawing from all the social welfare networks. So naturally, that is the difference. Left, they had a very good ideology, but now they had lost their ideology.
I would like to know a little bit more about your background and your journey. You said you worked for 30 years with another party, and you also wrote several books. How your journey started, and if you can maybe talk around 5 to 6 minutes on that one, then it will be really helpful for us.
Yeah, of course. Actually, I started my political work during emergency in India. I was a student of engineering college. When that time, I was a student of age 18. So there were raids in the college. I was arrested by the police and I was put in concentration camp for more than 1 week. So after coming out, I started working. I was thinking on political activism. So that was my starting point. Then I joined left, of course, left, especially CPM in Kerala, which was fighting against emergency. And I was working as a student federation, as a Student Federation of India, SFI. I was a district secretary of Tricur in my late years of education. Then I joined Baba Atomic Research Center after finishing my engineering. My first job was Baba Atomic Research Center as a scientist. Then I had a little bit fight there because of my previous communist connection. I was thrown out rather. Then there was a legal battle. Then after that, I worked in a company called Keltron, which is a Kerala government electronics company. I was there for around 30 years. In between, I took leave. This is my professional. I worked in a multinational company. You may be familiar, Bechtel. I was working in London and Middle East, Asia Pacific. Mm-hmm. So that was my professional. Then as an activist, I was very much interested in environmental activism because when I was a student, you might have heard maybe the first environmental conflict in India, that was Silent Valley. There is a dam proposed in Silent Valley in Palghat district in Kerala. So the dam will submerge forest. So there were people, scientists and some other people, they were against it, like M.S. Swaminathan and all. So they started against it. But common people were for the dam. So they were not worried about the forest. So in that conflict, I was with the environmentalist because I understood as an engineer, I cannot make forest. I can make power from different sources. So forest should be preserved. That was my perception. It was very, very raw perception. Then I involved in many environmental activism, many issues. Like I joined, I worked with Mehta Padkar and all, National Alliance of People's Movement, where I met Yogendra Yadav and Prashant Bhushan. They were part of that movement. So I met them much before AAP was formed. So that is one way. But I started having conflict with the left from almost 2000. By 2000, the left was not showing as left on environmental issues, on developmental issues, displacement, and especially they are withdrawing from the social welfare support, and more than that, corruption. It was a driving force for all this environmental destruction and withdrawal from the social welfare, because it's all because of corruption. So I started fighting against corruption, and around by 2006, I had left the party mainly because there is a corruption scandal against the present Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan. And I have written a book on him, not on him, on the corruption scandal. There's a deal with SNC Lavalin, a Canadian company, and Controller and Auditor General had exposed that corruption, around 300 crores. This was in 1997. So 300 crores, now it's not a big amount, but at that time, it was a big amount of corruption.
Yes,
so
obviously.
I started exposing them. I had fight in the party. So finally, I thought, I cannot be in the party and fight against Pinarayi Vijayan. So I left the party in 2006. So then I continued my fight as an independent activist on environmental issues, on many issues, almost all non-party issues. I was part of it, the Coca-Cola struggle and the endosulfan and many other things, displacements. So that was actually little bit in line with the Mehta Badkar and all, but I had some difference of opinion with them. That's why they are apolitical, I felt. But anyway, when another movement came in 2011, I was very much attracted because I am fighting against corruption. It's a lone battle. Now there's a platform coming to fight it all over India. So I was very happy. So I joined that bandwagon without any doubt because it is good. I'm getting some support for anti-corruption movement. But still, when they formed the party, I appreciated the political thing. But I was doubtful how the party will. Because my experience with the party is Communist Party. So, as we have a proverb in Malayalam, a cat fallen in a hot water will always doubt every water. So, I was doubting Thomas, but I supported us in and out from outside. I have written books, I have written articles, I presented in the medias, and I worked in the 2014 election hectically. So, as an outsider, if outsider sees I am a very strong volunteer, but I was not a member, to be very frank. I was associating with all movements, but then after 2014, the election, then they wanted to change the structure. They wanted people like me, the intellectuals, and to come to Aam Aadmi to work. The national leadership, the National Observer at that time, he compelled me, you are working outside is not good because you cannot come inside the organization. Finally, your work will not be that fruitful. So many people like me joined Aam Aadmi, especially writers and some good activists. They all joined. So, practically in 2014, late only, I joined. Then Delhi election came. Then I was a spokesperson for 1 year. Then when the convener resigned, she could not continue. I was entrusted the job of convener, state convener, and I am still continuing as an activist on many issues. So I'm seen by the people of Kerala in two phases, but there is no conflict because we are fighting for the environment against corruption. As a freelance activist I was. Now they see I'm saying because there is no contradiction because whatever we are doing, I was doing. It was almost same philosophy with Aam Aadmi. So I work for Aam Aadmi. It's a very transparent transition.
Yes. And also you mentioned about you involved with student politics since the time of emergency, and I wasn't born at that time. And from time to time, I have been also involved with student politics. So how you see the transition of student politics from your time to now? Is still the same, or do you see any change in the involvement from students in politics?
It is totally changed, sir. Totally changed. Now, it is a de-ideologized politics. You cannot see, for example, a person, if you say he is from that party, I expect something from him, whether positive or negative. But now you cannot say. Somebody says, I'm communist. That it doesn't mean anything about him. You cannot call him non-corrupt. You cannot call him straightforward. You cannot call him even ideologically the communist ideology. And his life, his lifestyle, everything. So it is a de-ideologized. There is no ideology in politics now. Or because it is just like a, what you call, the same box you can write left, right, or middle, or anything. So there is no difference in perspective between the parties. Okay, you can say anti-communal, communal. Even the anti-communal, that is why I am saying the CPM or Congress cannot grow more. The anti-communal, they use communalism to come to power. You know the contradiction. So they use another communalism to come to power. And when they come, there will be conflicts. Okay. Caste and communal politics, they cannot sustain. That's what I see. But everybody is using that.
Yeah. My question was related to the.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. My question was related to student politics, student involvement in politics. How this has changed from.
Sorry. Yeah. Very, very. It's almost the same with the student politics also, because now the student politics, the organized student community, they are not at all political. They are followers of their parent party. For example, SFI. Whatever CPM says, SFI will do. In my time, it is not like that. SFI will find out new issues, and they will take the issue, and they will teach. Even we had put that issue before the party. See, my guys, you have to take this issue. Because there are a new thinking will come from universities. You know that. Now, that sort of universities are not there. In Kerala, my experience is when SFI is coming to power, they will not allow anybody to come into the college. They will say you don't want. Only we can do it. They use violence, and especially the violence. That is one thing I don't like. Political parties are using corruption and violence together.
Yes.
So the same path is followed even by the students. No democratic discourse possible in colleges. That is the problem.
So
my time, it was great democratic discourse.
Yeah. Do you have any plan to expand the political activities among students? Because students have fresh mind and they have access to book, the knowledge they can use, and they can analyze the data and implement in the real life. So do you have any plan to get more involved with students?
Sure. It is a little bit tough business, because one thing, the students who are in politics, they are highly biased and they don't want. There is a huge, what you call, majority of the students, they are not at all interested in politics. We are targeting them. We are targeting them. Not in conventional way, we cannot go to them. Making a student organization and saying you take membership and we fight election. Not like that. You have to take it in a parallel way. That's what we think. Parallel way, either through cultural means. That is one way we are trying. Some cultural organization for the youth and students which can attract them. Because most of our colleges, they are not making any intellectuals, they are making professionals. They don't want intellectual thinking. They say, you be a doctor, you be an engineer, you be an accountant, you be an advocate. Why you want to be a politician? You know, the university is like JNU, where they are trying to, where there are some good thinking going on. New youth, it is getting suppressed. Saying that why students go to politics. So there are two streams. One is totally professional politicians, other one non-politicians. They hate politics. So it is in between we have to work, and we have to target the students. That is what we are doing. The school students from +2, the secondary school students, because only them you can have access.
Okay, Mr. Neelakandan, I just wanted to ask you one question that, obviously you are an exception to this, But the general impression is that, activists not make good politicians. Would you agree or disagree? You are an exception, of course,
cannot
but
generalize.
even people like Neelakandan did not.
No, Mehta Patkar was never a politician. I was in politics from the day one.
Okay.
I came to activism through politics only, not the other way. See, that is the thing. I worked in a political party. I was a political, my own activism. That is what I told you. My difference of opinion with Mehta Patkar was that many of times she is apolitical. I had quarrel with her. Even before after me, you know that. Even before 2011. We are very close friends. Even now we are very close friends. I had big arguments. Even on Aam Aadmi, when she joined Aam Aadmi, I had not joined Aam Aadmi. She asked me why. I told her, wait. Because for me, I told you earlier. But she left Aam Aadmi before I joined Aam Aadmi. So that is the problem. She is not political. She cannot work on that way.
That is what I asked you. You are an exception, but most political activists, when they become politicians, they do not succeed. Like Mehta Patkar, even when she tried being a politician in AAP, but she did not succeed. And there are many such examples. Though they are extremely good activists, when they fight elections, they are not able to get the vote support.
No, they should not expect people to vote for them. There are many, many experiences. Ram Sharmila to many places. You know what happened to Ram Sharmila. Ram Sharmila is known well over the world.
Right.
But how many votes she got? We have. See, the problem is, election politics, you should have very clear perception. That's why I told you, even very low votes in Kerala or Karnataka, I am not worried. Because people will vote in that way. It is our job to know that and change that and get them to our way. It's a tough job. Politics is not an easy business. It is easy when you climb upon an existing party to the structure. See, for example, if somebody is becoming a leader of Congress or BJP or Samajwadi, it is easier because somebody had done that work earlier. Now, in Aam Aadmi, because I know the history of the communist parties, how they had grown in Kerala. The Congress, how they had grown in Kerala. So, that work, we should not forget. Don't think that we get a party like N.T. Ramarao, a film star coming one day and making a party and winning election. That is very, very rare thing in the world. You cannot do that in a party like Aam Aadmi. Isn't it? So, the trade work, the basic work. Okay, Delhi, I think Delhi was an exception. It was not a rule. It is not a rule. Don't take Delhi as a general. I don't accept Delhi as a general. Because what we are taking from Delhi, but you cannot photocopy Delhi to Punjab or Kerala. That is my experience. It is not photocopying, will not work in politics. But you have to get clue from Delhi, how it happened, and apply it as modeled and remodeled in Kerala or in Tamil Nadu or in Karnataka. Okay, we have a very good example there. That example remodeled. As I told you, why left is going back and you take Delhi example. We can do it. And left is saying, we don't have money to do social welfare. We say, if Delhi has money, why don't you? That is the question.
Okay. Mr. Neelakandan, I think the party is extremely fortunate to have you with your vast experience.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
For 2019 elections, while we know the current environment into the country and the current standing of each and every political party, so what do you think from your experience of this 20-30 years of experience of being activism and politics?
2019 it will be a tough. It will be a tough election for Aam Aadmi because the whole nation is polarized. They are trying to polarize between BJP and the BJP. This is a very tough position for a party like Aam Aadmi because the question is whether Modi should come back or not. If that is the question, we have a little bit of time. But what I think is, even in that tough time, we can say that we are different from other secular parties, so-called secular. Because if power comes to the secular, again, they will be highly corrupt, they will be non-secular, they will fight each other, and they may give back the power to Modi. There may be. So if we can convince some group of people in India, either in Delhi or Punjab or in Kerala, they can get support. Because I'm very sure this just anti-Modi, that verb may not. Anyway, I hate Modi because I don't want Modi to be in power even for a minute. I agree. As an Aam Aadmi man, because he challenges not only Delhi government, he challenges the constitution. So I want democracy to be here. But still I'm saying, this polarization, it's a little bit difficult for Aam Aadmi. How we work among this polarized society, it's a challenge for Aam Aadmi. We have to think the ways and means to come to that.
What I'm asking you is, as an experienced person, I'm asking you a very specific question. Do you have a model in mind? Let's say you suggest a model which everyone can follow. Imagine an ideal situation where everybody is taking your lead.
No, I am afraid to say I have no model just like that. Because that model has to be evolved. The formula we apply in Kerala may not be suitable for Karnataka. You know, even though we say national parties or national politics, it is not national politics. It is regional politics again. Even for the national party like BJP, they are more on regional politics than on national politics. So what I'm saying is, I cannot say a pan-Indian formula for that.
Okay, so I'll ask you one simple choose option to find. Let's say the whole opposition unites, because that's what we see is going to happen. The whole opposition is going to be united. So as an Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson or as a convener, what do you see, AAP should become outside supporter of this opposition or inside supporter? I mean, it should be a clear out supporter, it should come out in open that, okay, all the opposition. What do you think and how?
We cannot predict. Yeah. My position on that is we cannot predict it now. That depends on the strength of AAP in the parliament. See, if we have sufficient number to drive the opposition, to lead the opposition, naturally,
what I'm saying is, to get into the election mode of 2019, there has to be a pre-poll alliance. Now, how parties are going to do the pre-poll alliance? No. Either they will, do a open alliance.
No, I think we will not have a pre-poll alliance with any party. What will happen is, if we don't have sufficient power to win, we may support, as we have done in Bihar or Gujarat, we may support the secular parties, so-called secular parties, to defeat BJP. But I'm saying, if at all there is an alliance, it will be post-poll alliance for Aam Aadmi. Because if there is Aam Aadmi support is required for a national government, something like that, and a secular government, we may support. I don't think even in Delhi, whatever news coming, I don't know, in Malayalam, there are some news saying that Aam Aadmi is discussing with the Congress for seat sharing in Delhi. I don't know. Anyway, I don't think it will happen. Because no party can join with Aam Aadmi wholeheartedly. Because they are all afraid of Aam Aadmi. Because we are doing a different politics. We are not a different party. We that is why. Whatever our goals we keep, it is not just like other parties.
Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate your detailed.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Neelakandan, for patiently answering all our questions.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
No. Thank you, Vijayalakshmi and Jaswant and all people. Thank you.
Thank you very much.